Start in the name of Allah, who is merciful and most beneficent. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hopefully, you will be fine. Today, we are going to discuss story skeleton and plot twists in Pride and Prejudice. As we have discussed earlier, Pride and Prejudice different aspects. So today we are going to discuss story structure. Basically, story structure relate to the psychological appeal of narrative, that which engages reader and builds in them a sense of anticipation, a desire to know what happens next. This blog series is meant to demonstrate the universality of story structure with plot breakdowns of award winning and classic novels. Yes, basically, Jane Austen has described different aspects, but that novel has gone through and have achieved different awards as well as winning awards, so nominated for different awards. So this is the basic thing of this novel, that is the anticipation, sense of anticipation, our desire to know what happens next. So this is a very beautiful aspect by Jane Austen. So if we are going to discuss the twist and as well as the plots, there are several things that we have to discuss. So if we are going to discuss plot points, first of all, if we'll discuss stasis, so though we never directly witness the stasis of Elizabeth's day to day life, we can reasonably assume the status she finds the typical obsession with marriage and men to be somewhat silly, and considers herself about it. She is confident in herself as a good judge of out character and thinks she has the world figure out, or at the least the social world of her title section of England. So this is the first point of our plot. The second one is inciting incident. Obviously, interlater exit early is oft give advice when writing short stories, but Austen applies it to novel writing too. The novel's iconic opening immediately gives us a juicy inciting incidents. Yes, obviously, the entrance of a highly eligible bachelor, Mr. Bingley, into the neighborhood. This throws Lizzie and her sisters headlong into a newly invigorated the world of courtship and social climbing. As we know, the first impression is the last impression, so this is a very beautiful aspect to be discussed here. So the next one is point of no return. Obviously, this is very important. The point of no return occurs at a subsequent village ball, during which there are two crucially intertwined incident. One of these is Bingley's friend Mr. Darcy insults Elizabeth without knowing she can hear him, at, at which point she understandably forms a strong personal judge against him. The other, of course, is that Bingley dances with Jane and they begin to fall for each other. And since Lizzie loves Jane dearly and will do anything to secure her sister's happiness, this means that she cannot simply discredit Darcy, who happens to be Bingley's best friend. From this point onward, like it or not, their lives will be intertwined. So if we are going to discuss the next one, that is rising in action. Obviously, this is the very important aspect of our plot. Elizabeth hopes to remove herself from Darcy's sphere and continuously dashed by outside influences. These include Jane's illness and long stay at Netherfield, during which Lizzie visits and must interact with Darcy. A Netherfield ball at which Darcy asks Lizzie to dance, much to confusion and less pressing but still significant issue of his own thoughts, even when he is not physical there. So this is another impression that physical appearance is something else, as well as your mental appearance is something else too. It all Lizzie remains polite, even charming, not wanting to Jane's chances with Bingley. So if we are going to be there, midpoint, if we'll see the midpoint in a novel that is concerned with challenging, uh, it's fighting that Austen implies not only but two midpoint reveals. The first twist in the tale comes when Bingley abruptly leave Netherfield, seemingly never to return. This is the first one. And second, if we'll see, Jane is bereft, and Lizzie's attempt to comfort her are complicated by another twist. Darcy. So the next point is all is lost. At this point, Jane is heartbroken and Elizabeth's worldview deeply shaken both by Binglow's sudden abandonment and Darcy's out of the blue. Affection for her, this compounds when yet another tragedy befalls the benefit family. The Lydia runs away with George Wickham and other thing in part because of her own against Darcy, whom Wickham also disliked. Now, Lizzie sees the various ways that her beliefs, biases, and prejudices about people have been wrong. Without doubt, she is smart and capable, but she is now find that the truth has often been the opposite of what she had previously assumed. So the next one is climax. Obviously, the novel's climax come with Darcy once more proposing Elizabeth, Lizzie having changed her opinion of him, and this means conceding that she was wrong about a number of things, specifically her assumption about Darcy's family and his motivations in keeping Bingley's away from Jane and refusing to allow her prior prejudice to keep her from happiness. And the last one is obviously a resolution. The novel is resolved with the wedding of Elizabeth and Darcy, as well as Jane and Bingley, who are reunited with Darcy's help. Against all odds, the Bennet sisters get their happily ever afters, and though it requires some soul searching on Liz's part, she emerges without having sacrificed her principles, instead having allowed them to evolve. So with this we have comes to an end. So basically this is the thing, that how the problems were there and how the plot was structured there.